Well, imagine a device that could safely keep the sparkle in your celebrations. You know, that's a big concern since 10,000 people a year need emergency care after handling or mishandling fireworks. Well, now a St. Petersburg doctor has developed something called Ignito, a device that lets you remotely light fireworks from a safe distance. Our own Dr. Randy Schuck got a closer look at this product in today's In Depth.
Joining me now is Dr. Andrew Reisner, an emergency room physician, today talking about the 4th of July. So it's a kind of patriotic time, so thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
So, as an ER doctor, these holidays aren't so much fun, are they?
They can be fun, but it can be a little hazardous.
So if you're not working in the ER. So tell me, we have the 4th of July coming up. It's right around the corner. What's the most common problem we're seeing, in your opinion, from the 4th of July, besides overeating and drinking too much?
Fireworks-related injuries. There are 7,000 to 11,000 of them each year presented to emergency rooms.
And those are what, hand injuries?
Usually hands, that's the most common, but then also sometimes face, unfortunately.
And eyeballs too?
Yes.
So if you have the average person, who's that average person that's coming in the ERs? I mean, it can be kids, but I'm thinking it's probably not.
The most commonly is 25 to 35-year-old men.
Yeah, and why?
Partly because alcohol and fireworks don't mix, just like driving and alcohol. So if they had a designated person to light off the fireworks, that would be a huge help.
So the beer bottles need to be over there, the guy with the lighter needs to be over there, and the two should not mix.
Exactly.
And that's probably the best answer that we can give, because prevention is going to be much better than visiting you in the middle of the day or in the nighttime and sewing something back on. What's the worst that you've seen in the ER from one of these fireworks things?
Actually, just a couple weeks ago, I saw a guy whose 4 fingers were amputated pretty much down to the hand, and that happened when he was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking significant injuries. We're not just talking, hey, I burned my finger and that's funny.
No, missing fingers.
Wow. And eyeballs, we see people who lose their sight, not one but both eyes, and head injuries and all that fun stuff.
Yes, unfortunately.
So this is not really a toy. We're not talking about things that kids should be doing. And we let the kids do it all the time too, so unsupervised children probably is an issue as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So why do you think it's such an issue? Besides being, the drinking things, what is it? What's the mechanism? What causes the injury?
It's still explosives, plain and simple. Mm-hmm. The fireworks industry, they've done a great job making the fireworks themselves safer. But unfortunately, as a result, we're using 10 times as many fireworks, and we're still resulting in the same 7,000 to 11,000 injuries per year.
And it's not just the big boomers, too. I mean, you can get injuries from the sparklers, right?
Yes. And especially to the face. People to light them, and then they turn around and poke the person next to them who they were all lighting over the same match or whatever.
And we tend to give the little kids these. I've seen 3, 4, 5-year-olds with sparklers walking around, toddling around sometimes. Not really a good idea, right?
As long as they're told ahead of time, look, I'll light yours first and then you go. And then, instead of just this mass hysteria of the excitement and so forth.
Right, we like fire. Fire is kind of one of those fun things. And the thing that goes boom, that's even more fun. So we tend to do interesting things like putting multiple firecrackers together, or really looking for the really big monsters, which are really not fireworks, they're probably dynamite at that point.
Yeah. And then also, I was a young boy at once, and, you challenge each other to see how close the fuse can get before you throw the firecracker, and a lot of stupid things.
Right, so obviously we need to check in with the brain, check out with the alcohol, but sometimes there's just, it just happens too. It can be as safe as possible, and something bad happens, because you're talking about having to light something, you have a little fuse, you may not be able to see it, and you stick it under there. You've come up with an idea, right? Something that might save some people?
Yes, so currently, as you suggested, the safest thing currently is a barbecue lighter. It gives you an extra 6 inches. I thought, we've got remote controls for everything in our life. For televisions, ceiling fans, garage doors. Why not for the one thing that can blow up in your face? So I came up with this idea 4 years ago, and I've been working on it for a while. And so it's a remote control for fireworks. And this is Ignito. And you just push this button, it turns on. You push this down, the lights, I don't know how well you can see it.
Yep.
But while you have this down, you put the fuse in there, and these lights help you see the fuse in the dark, and then you let go, and that spring holds it onto the firework. Okay. So it's hanging from the firework. These flash 10 times to give you a chance to safely walk away. And you can walk 20, 40, over 60 feet away. Once it stops flashing, it's ready to receive the signal, and you just point Ignito at it, press the button. These tell you got the signal, and then
It's red hot inside.
Red hot. It lights the fuse. It falls off to the side safely. You're far away, and the fireworks is going off.
So keeps that misfire out of the way, keeps the trying to figure out where you're going, and also keeps that person from blowing up in their face or in their hand.
Yeah. And, you know, I've had people who've tested it for me, and he says, you know, it's great. Now he's actually let his 5-year-old son. His 5-year-old son can hold this and point it, and he's all excited, looking forward to the 4th of July.
Awesome. Now, yeah, you said some distances. Tell me about the distance, because there's some recommendations about how close you can be, and obviously if there's recommendations, you can't do it by hand.
Correct. I mean, for ground-based fountains where it just shoots sparks up in the air, they recommend you be 20 feet away for that. For aerial things where it shoots high up into the sky, they recommend that you be 40 feet away from that. And with this, you can be over 60 feet away. So plenty of room to spare. And
it gives you the idea, you know it's working, you can see it, because a lot of times we go and we light them, we walk up to it going, it didn't go off, what do I do?
Exactly.
This is going to tell us if it's going to be safe or not to walk up to it.
Exactly.
All right, so sounds like a great idea. Sounds like something. Why hasn't this been thought of before?
Yeah.
You're a smart guy, I know.
Yeah, but you know, there are others out there that aren't reusable. That's the thing.
All right.
This is the only one where you don't have to put a new wire in it each time, which costs extra money and so forth. I can get 50 to 70 lights, which I fear is a typical 4th of July.
Yeah.
And then we're next to your hammer or whatever for the next 4th of July or New Year's Eve, and you just have to change the batteries for the next 4th of July.
Awesome. Now, these are available now, right? Where are they available
yes.
at?
I just got these last week, but Galaxy Fireworks has already agreed to stock them in their stores. They're on Martin Luther King Drive and Dale Maybury. They're 2 brick and mortar stores. We're not getting them into their tents yet, but Galaxy Fireworks.
Awesome. And so, $1 million, are they?
No. $39.99.
So it's and what's it cost to go see an ER doctor?
Excellent point.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you use it, I expect people to be able to use it year after year.
Right. Sounds like a great idea. Comes from someone who's seen the trauma from it. So thank you so much for thinking of this. Thank you for showing it to our viewers. And thanks for telling us about the dangers of 4th of July.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Dr. Reisner says he has a patent for that product, and Galaxy Fireworks in Tampa has agreed to sell Ignito to customers. And if you don't have Ignito, just please be careful tomorrow. And that's it for today's In Depth. As always, you can